Hey friends, welcome to YCamp. My name's Holly from YMCA Camp Queen Elizabeth, located on Georgian Bay Islands National Park in Ontario. Today, we will be doing a mindfulness activity. The equipment you need is pretty minimal, so you need an outdoor space. So whether that's out on your balcony, out in your backyard, on your front porch, maybe even on your nature walk for the day, anywhere where you can get outside. If you don't have access to outside, that's totally okay. You can also do this activity inside in a comfy spot. What I like to do is I like to bring some blankets to get a little comfortable, but you don't need those, just anywhere where you can get outside. So before we start, I would like to do a land acknowledgement. So we would like to acknowledge that CQE is on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, and Métis people. We acknowledge that these ancestral lands are used and continue to be used for traditional and ceremonial teachings. Beausoleil Island, where CQE is located, has been a special gathering place for Indigenous people for thousands of years. We recognize and appreciate the importance of the island's heritage and the people who have been stewards of the land throughout history. It is a place of beauty, a place of plenty, and a place of peace. So before we start, let's do a little riddle. So this is kind of a who's who. So can you guess what animal I'm thinking of? I'm going to give you some clues. And if you think you know what this animal is, yell it out. So the first clue. This animal is nocturnal. So it is having a great time at night and it's sleeping during the day. Clue number 2. This animal is a great climber, swimmer, and runner. Think you know what animal this is? Clue number 3. This animal has babies called kits. Clue number 4. This animal has a striped tail and it looks like they're wearing a mask. Think you know what animal this is? I'm thinking of a raccoon. Good job. So for this mindfulness activity, how it's going to work, I'm going to walk you through a mindfulness meditation. So if you want, you can bring your computer outside or your phone or whatever you need. You can just follow along with my voice and I'm going to kind of walk you through this practice. So a few things we want to touch on before we start. What is mindfulness? What does mindfulness mean to you? To us, mindfulness means connecting with your current space. So that means being really present, being present with your surroundings, and really getting in touch with everything in your surroundings and not focusing on things like maybe what you're having for dinner, maybe what you are going to be watching later. So really connecting with the current space. So for this activity, we are going to be connecting with the 5 senses. So we are going to be connecting with taste, smell, touch, hearing, and sight. So with those 5 senses, what we're going to do is we are going to count up to 5. So we are going to start with maybe one thing we're looking for that we can taste and move up from that. So you don't need to do anything. You can just follow my voice and we'll go through that. So what I like to do during this activity is take away one of my senses. So I find it really helpful to close my eyes when I'm trying to get in touch with my other senses because I think that it helps elevate the senses. Maybe that's taste or touch or smell or hearing. All right, so we're going to start by taking 2 big deep breaths to start us off. So in through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouth. So first thing we're going to look for is we're going to look for one thing that we can taste. So for this one, what I like to do is I like to close my eyes and really get in touch with those senses that I can taste. This one you might have to get a little creative with. So really, let's think hard on this one. So we're gonna close our eyes. What is one thing that you can taste? Did you find it? So for me, the one thing that I could taste my toothpaste from this morning. But if you would like, what you can do is you can take a bite of something, you can take a sip maybe of some water or some juice that you might have nearby. I'm gonna take a sip of my water. Camp water. It tastes a little different though. So if you take a bite or maybe take a taste of something and your eyes are nice and closed, really connect with the flavors that you're tasting. So do you taste, is it very sweet? Is it sour? Does it taste different than maybe something you've tried before? What are those things that you taste? So we're just looking for one. Awesome. Next up, we are going to be looking for two things that we can smell. So again, I like to close my eyes so I can really connect. And I'm going to take some deep breaths to really kind of smell what's around me. So. And remember, we're looking for two things that we can smell. So maybe some things that you've never actually noticed before. So what are those two things that you can smell? For me, I can smell the fresh greenery around me. So all those leaves, I don't know if you've ever smelled that before. It's a very fresh smell. It smells kind of like a mix of grass and leaves, very fresh. I can also smell some flowers. What are the two items that you can smell? Maybe you can smell someone's cooking next door. Maybe you can smell some different kind of flowers. So next up, we are going to be looking for three things that we can touch. So again, I like to get really creative with this one. So instead of just finding the things that I can touch with my hands, maybe connecting with other ways that I feel touch. So I can feel things with my feet, I can feel things on my legs, I can feel the way that the t-shirt is touching my body. So you can get really creative with this one. So again, we're going to close our eyes and we're going to really connect and look for three things that we can touch. So what did you find? For me, the three things that I could feel the wind, the cool breeze blowing on my neck and through my hair. I can feel the blanket underneath my legs and feet. And I can also feel the rock under my bum. I chose to sit here for some reason, and it's a little painful. What three things can you feel? All right, next up is my personal favorite scent. We are going to be looking for four things that we can hear. For this one, I really like to close my eyes because I find it really helps you get in touch with kind of those background noises that maybe you've been phasing out because you live in a city or you live in the woods and you always hear the birds chirping. I like this because it really helps you connect with those smaller things that you might not have noticed before. So again, we're going to close our eyes and we're going to be looking for 4 things that we can hear, 4 different things we can hear. So what 4 items did you hear? For me, I could hear the birds chirping, lots of different birds too. I can hear the boat on the lake in the distance. I can hear the rustling of the leaves on the trees. And I can hear the waves crashing on the shore. What 4 things can you hear? Next up, we're going to be looking for 5 things that we can see. So for this one, you're going to want to keep your eyes open. So we can take a moment and we're going to be looking for 5 things. And remember, keep breathing. Beautiful sounds of the birds. So 5 things that I can see. I can see the moss in the rocks. I can see some beautiful windswept pines. I can see a gorgeous sunny blue sky. I can see some cabins. And I can see the lake. What 5 things can you see? So if you've enjoyed this activity, you can definitely stay here, enjoy nature, maybe connect with some more senses or maybe find some more things. Take some deep breaths, relax, whatever you want to do to keep yourself present in the moment, you're welcome to do that. We're going to be ending today's activity, but like I said, you can continue if you'd like. If you would like to work towards your virtual YCamp certificate, please visit ymcahome.ymca/YCamp and tell us how you did with this activity. If you would like to join CQE next week, we will be doing an outdoor bingo. So we are going to be using these senses to connect with the outdoor space and really use these, now that we are super connected with our senses, we're going to be able to find all these great things in the wild. So please stay tuned next week for that activity. And if you liked this video, please make sure you subscribe to YCamp. And if you can, please consider donating to your local YMCA camp. I hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you next week. Thank you.